Hello, my dear sweet little chickadees, and welcome to the February horoscope brought to you by Smudge Wellness. I am Cole, your resident astrologer, and I'm so excited for this month because this theme of the month is community, and because it's currently Aquarius season and the new moon is in Aquarius, we have this abundant energy of wanting to think about our community, about wanting to think about our society. So I really want us to contextualize the entire month through the new moon, which is happening on February 1st. So without further ado, let's get into it. As I said, I want to contextualize the entire essence of the month through the new moon, which is happening in Aquarius. We know that new moons are all about new opportunities, new beginnings, manifesting the shit that we want to see happen in our life. And what's really awesome about this new moon is that it's in the sign of Aquarius, right? So it's a really social new moon. It's a very intellectual new moon. It's very humanitarian. It wants rebellion. It wants change, right? It is all of those quintessential energies that speak to the new moon, right? It is saying, let's do something new. Let's do something different. Let's engage with new people. Let's allow ourselves to feel that radiant energy of trying to do what is best for us, right? While still being conscious of being social, being engaged, and allowing people to come into our life. I'm very, very excited that the new moon is happening at the beginning of the month because it allows us to really set this tone of saying, this is what I want to have happen. These are the people who are going to help me get to that point, and this is how I'm going to radically express myself in a unique and rebellious way that is still authentic to me. On February 3rd, Mercury goes direct. Hallelujah. Thank God we are out of Mercury Retrograde, and there are no planets retrograde right now because Venus direct happened in January. So this is super exciting because now all of this social, right, manifestation that we did on the 1st with the new moon, we can start planting those seeds and making it happen with Mercury direct because our communication is going to be a little bit more straightforward. Our intellectual thinking isn't going to be as, stressful as it can be. But what's nice is that because Mercury is in Capricorn at this point, we're going to be allowed to be more security driven, right? And be more direct and be more straightforward with all of our social engagements. So I'm very excited about that. Now on the 14th, Mercury is going to ingress into Aquarius. This just means that Mercury is going to move into Aquarius, and this is fan-fucking-tastic because this is like free thought, free communication, free expression, very intellectual energy. It wants us to engage outside of our comfort zone, and it wants us to engage with people who are going to stimulate our mind in a way that feels very, very progressive, very, very authentic, maybe a little bit quirky and weird at times. That mental stimulation definitely needs to be funneled into a lot of social engagement, right? Use Mercury in Aquarius as an opportunity to just chit-chat with as many people as possible and try to learn and expand from everyone that you can. On the 16th, the first transit that we've got going on is Venus and Mars conjunct in Capricorn. Venus and Mars conjunct is like energy stimulation, right? It's saying, let us go after the things that provide us value. Let's go after love. Let's go after our passions. Let's make stuff happen. But with this Capricornian energy, right, it could be a little bit domineering, right? Mars can kind of push Venus to be a little bit less soft, right, and be a little bit more aggressive, which is not the T for Venus. So we want to make sure that as we're exerting our energy, we give ourselves a little bit of a time to rest, to relax, right, to not, take on more than we can chew. So we're really making sure that we're exerting our energy with Mars and Venus conjunct each other only to the things that are providing us value and security in the long run. We also have the full moon on the 16th in Leo, and the questions that I want us to ask ourselves, knowing that the full moon is all about completion and closure, Leo is all about creativity, expression, being the shining light, right, the star of the show. Asking ourselves, where in my life have I potentially stifled my creativity? Where in my life has I potentially missed out on opportunities to be the star of the show, right? Who in my life are people that are going to support me, right? And support my shining light, my creative expression. And really at the end of the day, how am I allowing myself to close the book on one sort of experience that possibly has prevented me from being the star of the show so that I can open up a chapter to remember that I am the main character, bitch. On the 18th, it is Pisces season, and it starts, let me just check my notes, at 11:34 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I love Pisces season because it really is just that, at least for me, right? It's my new year. It's like, my end of the year, I guess, because Aries season's the beginning of the new astrological calendar. It's a time just to sort of sit, reflect, and think about, oh my gosh, what has happened over all of this time. And it allows us to be really creative, really intuitive, really empathetic and social in a unique way that just allows us to connect with people with a deeper sense of intimacy. So I'm very excited for Pisces season because it really is that season, just makes me feel love. So I hope that all of you feel that love. Then on the 23rd and 24th, Mars and Venus are going to be going sextile Neptune. Mars is going to go sextile Neptune on the 23rd and Venus on the 24th. This is a really, really great time to take a step back, right? The beginning of the month has all of this energy of really heightened social interaction and really being ambitious and going after the things that we want and really, really engaging in unique and rebellious ways, right? Trying new things. But then we get this opportunity at the end of the month to sort of sit, reflect, and think about like, oh, okay, yes, that is what is, that is where I want to be a little bit more direct with my energy. And this is what's allowing me to find those intimate and creative connections that I need. So allow the 23rd and the 24th into the end of the month to not be as aggressive, right, and ambitious, but using it as a time to just sort of say, all right, vibes, I'm feeling good, feeling flirty, feeling as though I'm realigned with myself in the long run. Now let's talk about the sign-specific horoscopes, right? How is this going to influence you as an individual? Make sure to look at your sun, your moon, and your rising because that's the important thing to do with horoscopes. Starting off with Aries energy. Aries, there's this really, really nice dichotomy between the 11th and the 10th house, right? 11th house is society and community, and the 10th house is all about our career aspirations, recognition, achievement, all of that great stuff. So I want you to think about who are the people that I can start engaging with, right? What is the support that I gain from my community as it pertains to my level of achievement, my level of recognition, and the career path, right? And the aspirations that I have for myself. For Taurus, it is this nice balance between 10th house and 9th house energy, right? And the reason this is because of all the Aquarius and Capricorn energy that's going on. This really creates this conversation that you need to have with yourself about how can I make February this opportunity for me to learn more in my career, right? Learn more from people who I might be ignoring, right? Or who might be pushing me to be more expansive. What does that engagement look like for myself? And how can I really, really take advantage of that? Gemini energy, let's talk about this relationship between the 9th house, which is all about growth, travel, higher knowledge, wisdom, and the 8th house, which is all about sex, death, transformation, inheritances, all of this great stuff. This allows for you to have the conversation with yourself during February about how do I need to push myself more, right? Am I possibly in a rut right now? Am I possibly, just being a little bit complacent and I'm being a little bit stagnant, right? Do I need to make sure that I'm engaging in a way that is allowing me to grow and flourish while also still staying true to like all of the intimate connections that I have? For Cancer, we want to really think about the 8th house and the 7th house dichotomy that we've got going on, especially the 7th house in particular, because that is the house of relationships, right? We want to think about the transformative energy in our relationships, right? How do we create security in our relationships? How do we allow ourselves to build more intimate connections and more intimate relationships with the people in our life, right? If they're plateaued in any way, we got to make sure that we're leveling them up so that we continue to have a sense of growth from them. For my Leo risings, I want you to additionally think about relationships, but thinking about your place in relationships, right? We've got the full moon and the new moon, right? Happening in Aquarius and Leo, sister signs, hello. So this creates that opportunity for you to think about, what is my place in all of these relationships? Are there new relationships that I want to start? Am I ready for that? Do I still need to create a little bit more of that pizzazz in the ones that already exist for me, right? So a Leo and Aquarius energy happening, right, in this new moon and full moon really allows you to hone in on what needs to change, where can we find closure with our relationships, and how can we become more comfortable with ourselves, right, as it pertains to relating to others. For my Virgos, this is going to be all about your routine, right? It's all going to be about your expression of energy, right? How you allow yourself to find function throughout life. Additionally, thinking about the ways that you take time to sit back and relax, the ways that you might overwork yourself. There's a lot of energy happening around the 6th house for you Virgos, right? So you really, really, really need to make sure that you are honing in and focusing on effort being expressed in a way that is authentic and genuine for you and not for anyone else. For my Libra risings, I really want you to focus in on the home, right? And secure relationships in the home with Mars and Venus and Mercury starting off in your 4th house, right, during the month of February, we really, really want to focus our energy on the security at the home, the relationships in home with family, all of that engagement, right, our subconscious sort of connection that we have with ourselves. So really allow the month of February to be a time for you to say, what do I need to work on, right? What are the relationships that in my family or in my, safe space that I created for myself that I need to build a little bit more? Or how can I, just create a little bit more of that leveled energy as opposed to just letting it be chaotic? Because we know post-holidays, the home can be a little bit chaotic. For my Scorpios, we really want to think about with the new moon and the full moon happening, right, in the 4th house, and then also the full moon happening in the 10th house, new moon in the 4th house, full moon in the 10th house, it really is this energy of what is the next step, right? What is the next opportunity with how I create a foundation for myself, but also the aspirations that I have for myself, right? Do we want to manifest a new path, right? A new homestead, a new opportunity for strong, stable, and intimate connections? Are we happy where we're at? All of those questions and all of those conversations are definitely how I want you to focus the frame during the month of February for yourself. For my Sagittariuses, we want to think about what are our values? What are our interests? What are the things that get us up and drive us and make us just say, yeah, this is what the fuck I want to have happen, right? What makes us exert the energy in a way that makes us feel excited and feel passionate and feel driven? This is because of the 2nd house energy, right? With Mars and Venus just hanging out there. But then also with the 3rd house energy and the 9th house energy with the new and full moon, it's all about what is interesting me? What is making me feel excited? And how can I create a little bit more security and stability through valuing those things? So have that conversation with yourself during the month of February. For my Capricorns, this is really, I really like this because there's a lot of 1st house energy going on. It can feel a little bit turbulent, right? It can feel like there's a lot of pressure to grow and a lot of pressure to just sort of have yourself be you, right? That might not sound like it makes sense, but being you might be just a little bit, holy shit, this is how I gotta be me. But really allowing yourself to lean into your identity, right? Your passions, your expressions, your sense of self, I think is such an important thing to make sure that you're having happen during the month of February. My Aquariuses, there's a little bit of this, interesting dichotomy going on in your chart right now during February because you've got a lot of 1st house energy, but then a lot of 12th house energy. 12th house wants you to reflect. 1st house wants you to be like your fucking self and be out there and be social. So I want you, before we be ourselves and be out there and be social, to first think about not what is me, that's not proper grammar. Who am I? Who am I? How do I express? How do I want to be identified? How do I see the world? Take that extra step before just getting out there and going after it, because 12th house energy can feel a little bit overwhelming at times, even though 1st house energy is like, hello bitch, it's me, right? So we got to make sure that we're at hello bitch, it's me before, right? Do all the reflective stuff to make sure we're confident with that before we go out there, and be stunting on the world. And lastly, my dear sweet little Pisces, it is a lot of this energy between 12th house and 11th house for you, right? Really thinking about what is, right? And reflecting on what is your place in the society and the community that you've built for yourself, right? What are those social engagements that you want to continue? Are there different areas of your life where you might feel anxieties or might want to have these more probing conversations in a grander scope about how people are pushing you and how they're supporting you and how they're helping you become the best version of yourself, right? A lot of 11th house, a lot of 12th house energy. So it really is asking you to reflect on your social situation right now. And with all that being said, my dear sweet little chickadees, I'm sending you all so much love. I am obsessed with all of you icons and legends, and I'm so happy for February, and because February means it's almost March, and March means it's almost spring, and spring means it's almost summer. So, with all that being said, I hope that you have just the most fantastic February, and remember, for more spiritual wellness content, for more astrology content, for tarot, for manifestation, for crystals, all of that great stuff, make sure to check us out on Instagram, check us out on TikTok, check out more of our YouTube videos, and also check out the Dirt blog.